All right, all right. Happy Monday, everybody. Looks a little different tonight. We got no Danny, but we're gonna keep rolling and do the thing. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to our guy Tony Collum. He did the Toys for Tots tournament for Big Shanty Bassmasters this last weekend, and took home third place in Big Fish. He had 22 pounds and some change, and then took Big Fish with a largemouth, just a little over 6. So congratulations, Tony. Pretty proud of them for doing that. I know they went out to Blue Ridge for a benefit tournament a couple weeks ago and struggled to find them, I guess, or find the right ones, anyways. And yeah, to see him do that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So we got my friend Chris Platts here.
How's everybody doing?
The Santee Cooper Lakes over in South Carolina. He's a tournament director for his local club, and he actually just took a regional championship for KBF, along with an Angler of the Year award. So, Chris, welcome. Thanks for coming in and joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Why don't you introduce yourself, man? Tell us a little bit about.
Well, my name's Chris. I love fishing, love bass fishing. I love saltwater fishing. Usually I'm pretty busy this time of year. I squeeze out some time for this. I'm pretty short, so Santa uses me this time of year a lot. So, I was just had to take a little break, talk fishing. It's a little cold up there in the North Pole right now. Yeah. No, I'm just a regular guy who loves to fish, and one of my favorite is to go out there and solve a puzzle. So Santee Cooper's places in the world to go out there and have to figure them out every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do it just straight off of instinct and intuition, don't you?
That's it. Yeah. I don't use any electronics. I mean, I map study before I go out, which that's pretty much any new lake that I study, and just kind of go out there and grind it out. I like using intuition and just kind of following what Mother Nature gives me is a playbook.
That's awesome. That's what I was telling John, because John, he's a no electronics kind of guy too. No motor, no.
My man.
Yeah, no motor, very few electronics, a ton of map study and homework before I hit the water.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, because you're doing, I guess, no electronics, are you more of a shallow water, backwater kind of fisherman, I guess?
I mean, typically, I do explore, especially actually this year. I've kind of been exploring, I say deep water relatively.
Right.
Deep water to me is like 6 foot. So
okay, yeah, we fish very similar then. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty deep water. If I fall out kayak and can't touch the bottom, that's deep water.
Oh, I'll save that joke for later.
Yeah.
Oh man, no electronics. These guys out here like Lewis and Clark.
That sounds about right.
Have electronics and can't use them. Yeah, some people can't. Like Caleb over here.
Yeah, Caleb, he has about I don't know, I'd say $16,000-$17,000 worth of electronics, and he can't tell me what the water temperature is.
Okay, so how many?
What kayak are you fishing out of now?
I'm actually fishing out of a Slayer right now.
Okay.
So I actually just got the Slayer a little over a month ago.
Okay, cool.
How you like?
And it's 10.5. I mean, I love it.
That's what you have, right, Alex?
Yeah, mine's the 12.5.
Okay.
Yeah, the same. You got the blue one, right? The Wave Strike?
I did. Yeah, I got the blue one. I was going to go with the alligator, but, I decided to go with the blue.
Hefner, just for tonight, I mean, we might do it more often. We're just kind of seeing how it goes. Danny's out of town. He's in Salt Lake City, so he's not going to be on any of the shows this week. Tony's going to do tomorrow, and then Clint's going to do Thursday. Oh, Caleb got beat by a bank beater today, huh?
Sure did. We got a couple little subgroups over here at Santee. We just like to, be friendly and talk trash. There's a group of guys that really like using forward-facing sonar, which I have no problem with. I just don't personally use it.
Yeah.
They call themselves the Wiggle Minners Worldwide, which is okay. And then so we had, and they have this little photo that came up. Looks like a bunch of Backstreet Boys. They put their heads on these bodies, and the back CD cover or something. So us bank beaters decided to make our name that, the Bank Beaters, and we did like the NSYNC CD cover.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So at some point we want to do like a benefit tournament with that, just to kind of have some fun with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh man, they're lighting you up over here in the comments.
They like to. They really like to.
Got the Slayer a month ago, 2 months till he can reach the pedals.
It's a pretty good one. So yeah, I think y'all have reached a 5 already, unless it's 5 individually.
And then Thad said, "How come Chris's beard and mustache don't connect?"
That's just the way God made me. I have no idea. I've actually been growing this. I haven't shaved in probably 6 years, and it's just the way it naturally grows.
Yeah.
It even sheds itself just like this.
Like Joe Dirt.
Like Joe Dirt.
That's it. That's why I got like since the comment about the hair, I got the Joe Dirt hair going on too.
That's good.
The ladies love it when it's blowing in the breeze when I'm pulling a 24-inch bass out of the water.
So what's your personal best?
So weight wise, actually, it's right here above me here. This one was 10 pounds 3 ounces because I did start out as mainly a boat fisherman people. Out of a kayak, 24 and a quarter is my personal best out of the kayak.
That's awesome.
So 24 and a quarter, it weighed, I think it was 8, 9. So it wasn't as heavy as that fish, but it's awesome. I mean, fishing out of a kayak, I can't say everything is for everybody, but being fishing out of a boat so long and dealing with the hustle and bustle of bass boat tournaments, which don't get me wrong, I still will fish in a bass boat tournament, but there's just something about the camaraderie with kayak fishing. It is a different fishing, and it almost forces you, especially people like myself and John here that only use like a pedal drive or a paddle. You're not going more than 3 miles away from the landing max.
Right.
So it forces you to really hone in on what you have to fish, what's in front of you, and you have to get a little creative. I really like all of those things about the kayak fishing.
That's good. Yeah, same here. I love the. You really gotta do your studies, right, and learn how to pick it apart. You can't just cast a couple times and then pull the motor up and go.
Right.
Absolutely not.
You really gotta go through like your whole run. If you bring forward what's your top baits that you like to throw this time of year?
Well, my very top bait I throw every single month of the year, and that is a shaky head with a swagger stick.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I literally, if I left my house without a shaky head and swagger stick, it would be like walking out of the house with shoes. There's no way I'd get through the day. I like to throw small square bills like 1.0. I like to throw lipless baits, spinner baits, drag a jig.
Okay. Yeah. That's why you catch the big ones right there.
That's right.
Right.
But it's important to mix it up. I mean, I go really light with my tackle, so I only have 2 like 3,700 size boxes, and then I take just a little small one that has terminal tackle in it, and I probably take maybe 30 bags of soft plastics with me. So I really just fishing mostly Santee when I'm using this as an example. I pretty know what I'm going to go with, so I don't need to bring a bunch of colors. If I was to travel somewhere else, I'd bring those same baits just with more color options depending on water clarity.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. John, you got anything for him?
So when did you start in the kayak? Since you started in a bass boat, when did you switch over to the kayak, and what made you switch over?
So I was actually working. I was doing a job in Aiken, South Carolina, and there was a next door neighbor of the doing, and he saw a fishing rod sticking out of the back truck. Because I mean, I always keep a rod or two in the back of the truck. Never know when you find a honey hole. And he's like, "Hey, you like to fish?" And I was like, Yeah, I love fishing. He was like, "You ever fished out of a kayak before?" I was like, "No." I mean, but it looks like it could be fun. And he said, "Well, what do you think about this? Come here. So I walk over by his garage, and he's got a Hammerite kayak, just a regular sit-in paddle kayak. And I said, "That's pretty cool, man. I bet you catch some fish out of that." And he said, why don't you take it with you?" I said, "Okay." I was like, are you trying to sell it?" And he was like, no, just take it just to have fun. You know, it was like, you're getting off. It was sun, so we had plenty of daylight. I got off work at like 4. So I took it and I went to, I don't even remember the name of it. It was some small lake in Aiken. It's like a state park or something. And I caught a couple fish, and I had a great time because I got like weaving in all these little creeks. And I stayed till way after dark, completely unprepared, if I'm being honest. I have a light other than like my flashlight on my phone. So I was like, well, that's a terrible idea. So I boat back to him the next day when I went to work, and he was going, how did you like it? I said, man, actually, I loved it. I think I'm on one. He was like, well, let me save you a little trouble. He was like, keep that one. And I was like, oh, man, I'll give you something. Just tell me what you want. I'll pay you for it. He said, no. He said, the simple fact that I can tell the joy that you boat lets me know that you will get way more use out of that boat than ever will. It's just been sitting in my house. And that was in like the end of 2023.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I guess I'm in the kayak world. I mean, I just started fishing competitively. February 2024 was my very first tournament that I fished.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's awesome. And look at you go.
And look at me go. I'm trying. I'm running.
That's a good story, man. That's awesome. Let's see what we got over here. Bunch of trash talk. All right, here we go. Anyone seen the double Alabama rigs? I have not.
I haven't either. Is that 10 or 8 baits? Alabama rig?
Probably 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of weight to throw around.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you need a shark fishing rod to throw that.
Here we go. Finally got a graph from a kayak, Michael Hefner. Been bank beating for a while and have no experience with side scan or anything. Any recommendations or tips? All right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and drop some recommendations since you guys don't use electronics.
There you go.
It depends, like, what you got. If you got a Humminbird or whatever, you're really going to be limited to what size your screen is, right? So if you've got like a 7-inch screen or so, I would run maybe 60 to 80 feet out on the side. And you've got to think like the black portion in between your boat and what you see on the side is the water column. And then really, I mean, that's it. It doesn't work very well while turning. Straight line, 3 to 5 miles an hour will give you the best image. And everything you see is going to cast a shadow. So when you see a fish, you'll see the shadow, and then you'll kind of see the fish away from the shadow because they're moving, right? 7SV, okay, yeah, I'd run about 60 to 80 feet. And I like to run it on a higher sensitivity setting. I feel like it shows a little more detail. I have a Garmin also. It's not a striker. But I like to run the sensitivity a little higher. And I feel like it, like I said, I feel like it shows a better picture. And it's really just going to take some getting used to. And Tactical Bassin has some really good videos on running through like settings and stuff like that, and showing you exactly what you're looking at. Let's see, Chris, if you could give any advice to a new young angler, what would that be?
Number one, don't get a girlfriend if you want to catch a lot of fish. No, I'm kidding. We're just starting out and you're a new or a young angler, I would say to spend less time. This doesn't sound terrible because I make videos. Spend less time watching videos about fishing and spending more time on the water and learning about the fish that are around you. It's pretty easy to go on YouTube or Facebook or whatever and a million videos about fishing. And they have, the best baits here, this pro's top baits. Now, those can't be helpful, but if you want to excel and you want to excel quickly, you should use water. There is nothing more valuable than time on the water.
That's exactly right, man. That's so true. You can get caught up in what other people are throwing. And
yeah, I think it's a good idea to pick a a handful of baits that you want to learn and invest a bunch of time on those, it's very easy to spin out and just keep buying new tackle.
Yeah.
But find
No,
4
I
or
couldn't
5
agree with that.
techniques that you really want to learn and then invest your time in that.
That's good advice.
It's funny you say that. I still, I pick a gear that I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn how to fish better or more or something I've never used. One of these days, I'm going to start using those big jointed swim baits that y'all like to throw.
Yeah, that was funny because talking about how similar you and I fish as far as shallow water, no motor, no graphs, but you throw completely opposite of what I throw. Because
Yeah.
I'm nearly all big baits, moving baits. I hardly even take soft plastics with me. Yeah. So.
But both still have great success fishing in the same areas.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's almost like fish, if they see something, they'll eat it and give them that opportunity.
Yeah, I think if we have enough confidence to keep throwing it, you're going to catch a fish. It's just you got to have the confidence in what you're throwing. So you like your
100%.
shaky head, and I can't stand it. And I'd much rather throw an 8-inch glide bait. So.
Glide bait. I couldn't think of the term. See, I don't even use it. Glide bait. Yes. I want to. So it looks so much fun to fish with, and I see you guys catching these giant fish on these glide baits. And I bought 2 this year, and I've thrown them probably about that many times, about twice.
Yeah, you just got to catch a few on it. It is fun. I don't fish very many tournaments though, so it's like I can go all day and get, maybe only get 1 or 2 bites, but it's the fish I'm hunting for. So it's it's a different than trying to fish a tournament where you've got to catch your number of fish.
Yeah.
Is that how you committed to it? Just like taking that bait out there and be like, I'm going to learn how to use this.
Yeah. I was basically throwing a lot of square bills and heavy cover, and then I bought some of the crank downs, like the 6-inch bullshad 4x4. It's basically a giant square bill, and just started fishing it the same way. And once I started getting bites on that, then I started looking at the other techniques of the larger swim baits, and I really invested a bunch of time this past year on the bigger glide baits, and it's a fun bite, man.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm gonna have to do it. All right, I'm just saying it now. 2026, I'm gonna learn the glide bait.
You just gotta lock it in your hand, man. You just gotta lock it in your hand.
I'm gonna lock it in. I'm gonna take at least like 2 days at the beginning of the year. Well, what time do you think is the best time of year for me to learn on it? Really?
Yeah, I have my most success right in the middle of summer.
Right in the middle of summer,
yeah.
Okay.
And really, there's so many of the custom guys are now collabing with some of the bigger names that make mass-produced baits, like Bullshad's doing Buka brand through GSM. Tater Hog did one through Strike King. So there's a lot that of course, Spro's got the KGB. So there's a bunch you can start without spending a ton of money. Because when you get into the custom made ones, they're incredibly expensive.
Whole paycheck
fun. But you're gonna have to invest more than 2 days.
All right. I guess I can do that then if I'm really gonna commit to it.
Let's see. We got another question for you. How long do you let your wacky worm sit before you twitch it? I speed fish with a wacky usually.
Yeah, I mean it really depends on the day. So I always start out slow. So I usually go with I like to pitch it up against trees, so I skip it in there real quiet. Usually let it sit for, I would say, 10 to start with. And if I don't get bits on, I would say an hour. If I don't get a bite in an hour, I start speeding it up. And that may even happen before that hour. Sometimes I can't commit to that fully. Like you mentioned about the tournament, the first 10 minutes on a wacky rig, I'm probably going to go to a moving bait, to be honest with you, just to see if I can get a bite or to see what the fish can tell me about what type of activity level they are on currently. But the wacky rig, I would say, speaking, 5 to 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. Not quite like
here. Let the fish tell
me
what they want.
That's it. I just let the fish tell me what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to make them what I want to catch them on, but I have learned that lesson like most fishermen, that just is not the way it's going to go most days.
Yeah.
I try and force feed them a shaky head a lot of days.
Yeah, I do that too. Especially with the live scope. Now that I can like pick some fish, and if they leave the shaky head, I'll just follow them and keep throwing it.
You know, I would say that's the number one reason why I don't want to use it. Is me being honest with myself, is it's going to really tick me off if I'm watching a 6-pounder not eat my bait. It ain't gonna bother me if I can't see it, but if I see it not eating my bait, I'm agitated.
Especially if they follow it all the way to the boat.
Yeah, see, skin's getting a little hot thinking about that right now.
That brings us to our good old buddy cranking and yanking. He says, turn on the screen, see the fish, cast to the fish, catch the fish. Lame scope 101. And talking about the advice I was given to Michael Hefner up there, but that was for his side imaging, cranking. We are not talking live scope tonight. These guys up here, they don't use electronics. I think John's got a depth finder with 2D on it, and that's about it.
It used to have side scan, but I smashed the transducer.
Yeah, I do like the side scan. I mean, like out of a bass, I love side scan. I mean, I like to see where the stumps and grass beds and things like that are. So it is useful. I'm not knocking electronics. I just don't like to use them.
Yeah, really, the only time I used the side scan was looking for bluegill beds.
Mm-hmm. And the bluegill beds.
Like I said, I was dragging the boat so much this past year that I kind of goofed up the transducer. So now just 2D works.
All right. We got a question from Bottom Line Outdoors. He says, what shoes and PFD do you guys use? Chris, I'll go ahead and let you take that one first.
So shoes, I don't know if it's the most practical, but it's what I like to wear. I wear Hey Dudes.
Okay.
During the warmer months, I pull them off. I wear boots. And then I like to use the NRS PFD.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I'm using the NRS Chinook life vest, and then normally just Keen sandals unless it's real cold. So
yeah, I'm a Crocs guy. I like to wear my Crocs in the summer.
Yeah.
I got the NRS Chinook also, and then in the wintertime I wear these guys right here. That's the NRS Boundary boots.
So I was thinking about buying a pair of those for this winter.
I like them. I do like them. Don't bundle your feet up too much, because if they start to sweat, you will freeze.
Really? Okay. And that's somebody else read some reviews, and somebody else said the exact same thing, that if your feet start to sweat, it'll actually work, the opposite way that you want them to.
Yeah. So I'll try to do I won't wear such a thick sock, and I'll put like a hand warmer in there to keep my feet warm, and that works pretty good. Keeps them dry. As long as you can keep them dry, you're good there.
That is the number one thing, is keeping them dry.
So we got another question from Caleb. He says, as a president and tournament director, how do you overcome diversity amongst your members and handle conflicts appropriately?
I just shoot straight. I'm a straight shooter. It's going to be like a yes or no, and I don't dance around a question. I just kind of, hey, what's up with this situation, or if it's breaking a rule, like there's no, well, I'll look out for you this time and not next time. No, the rule's the rule, and it just is what it is. I have been knocked, inches, or had fish disqualified for inadvertent rule. So it's just, I've had to eat it, and so will you. That's why we make the rules, for you to follow them by. So, but I'm also really friendly, so I'm not going to be a jerk about it. I'm just going to be on about it, like, hey, I'm so sorry that happened. The next time that you enter the situation, like the blind eye rule that happened recently, we require that you take a video of releasing the fish with a blind eye. That ensures that we know the fish is in fact alive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they weren't aware of that rule, and I had to disqualify the fish. And I was like, sorry, that's the rule. The next time, just explain the situation to them, because it really should be used as a learning tool.
Yeah. And you know all about disqualified fish.
I sure do. I just got disqualified an entire month this year.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about that a little bit?
So I had, in the month of March, I think I got like 108 inches in KBF state. And, I always had my life vest, but particular, I got a hook in my life vest, and I couldn't get the hook out honestly, I should have just taken the time to take it out. Totally own up to me not following this rule. The Fast and Furious. I had like 3 fish over 20 something inches already, and they were just biting good. I didn't want to take the time to take this hook. It was a crankbait that I had stuck in there, and I didn't want to get stabbed. So I took my life jacket and I just pushed it to the sides of the seat, and I kind of just kept it back behind me. Well, I made a video and posted some pictures of some fish that I caught that day, and I don't know who, but somebody found it on social media and reported it to Chad Hoover at KBF.
Yeah.
So he asked me about it. He was like, "Did you have a day where you didn't wear your life jacket?" Like, "Yep." And I explained the situation to him. I was like, "I'm not denying it happened. I'm just letting you know that's why it happened. It's not like I'm just going out there egregiously that, I'm not wearing this life jacket."
Yeah. Okay. And then what'd you do? How'd you handle that?
So then the next, I got, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm not going to get upset where I'm going to start punching walls like a monster drinking Kyle. I'm just going to get even. So the very next month, I put up 118 inches with my life jacket on the entire time. In the middle.
Too, man. I remember that. That was awesome.
Dude, it's hands down the best. I say month. It really happened in a long way. I stayed up with some friends of mine on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and went home Sunday. I caught 4 of those 5 in those 3 days.
That's awesome.
It was, you know how it goes. Sometimes you're in the right place at the right time. And they were coming in and coming out. Big ones going in and out. And I just happened to be on the right trees. And it was just a matter of waiting.
And what were you catching them on? Shaky head?
Shaky head.
Yeah, awesome.
I did catch a few on speed worm, but head and speed worm.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That's great. And then Silverpunk wants to know, so are you getting most bites after the wacky worm hits the bottom and not on the fall?
No. Nope. I would say that I don't feel the wacky bites most of the time. I don't think they're making it to the bottom. I have, obviously, some do hit it off the bottom, but this is my favorite bite on wacky reed. It's a tree, and I let it sink, and the next thing I know, here my line's way over there, and I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. So I don't think most of the time it comes. Matter of fact, once it hits the bottom, I shake it twice, wait a second, and reel it back in and make another cast. Okay. So I'm really to bite it on the fall.
And you might have answered this already. Weighted or weightless?
So I use 1/32. So I guess you can call that weighted if you want to.
Yeah. And you use a weed guard since you're around grass a lot?
I actually buy the hooks. I like the Ultra Head. Owner Ultra Head is what I like because it has a thinner profile head. I don't like the rounded heads. They seem to like get in the grass, catch on things a little more. This is a little thinner head on the hook. But I take the weed guard. I feel like it makes me lose fish. It may not, but I just had a day several years ago where I lost like 7 fish in a row because of the weed guard. So I bend them off now.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see. Silverpunk just got some heated socks. We'll
those are sweet.
Skip a couple of those. Steve says he's reeling his in the second it hits the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly how I fish mine. I'm like I said, I shake it twice, give him a second, because I have watched fish just sit there and look at my wacky, like I can see them, and I shake it twice, and then that one little motion will make them strike. It'll just trigger that strike. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why I do that double real quick before I reel it in.
Yeah, I've done that kind of similar to that. Fishing dock lights, right? So I'm standing there and I cast, and the fish they're just swimming all around. They're never stationary, right? And by the time my lure hits the water, he's already past it. So I just kind of crank on the underspin a few times, and it gets their attention. Man, they'll turn around, come right back after it. And it's pretty cool to watch, like from the surface, and not on a screen. It's fun to watch on the screen, but it's funner to watch them from the surface.
That's one of my favorite things about fishing. Like, obviously, we all love to catch fish, put them on the measuring board or weigh them in tournament. But I actually like watching activity. Like, I like seeing how they are in their natural environment. And then I'll pitch a shaky head at them afterwards. But I do like to watch it.
So what's your color on the shaky head?
So June bug red, traditionally, like that's my early, pre-spawn going into spawn, and then I make it a black with blue flake. Um, for whatever reason, that kind of combination has worked for me really well. Not that the June bug red doesn't seem to work still, but and I know this sounds weird, but I really like using those darker colors in clear water.
Yeah, that's I'm out here on Lanier, which is considered a clear water lake, and I put up a pretty good bag a couple months ago, and I caught
Beat me.
yeah. I caught 3 fish over 20 out of Lanier, 3 largemouth over 20 out of Lanier.
Nice.
And I caught them all on a black and blue swagger stick.
Man, that thing is ridiculous, man. I'm telling you.
I caught a couple of them, was real shallow, like less than 5 foot of water in the middle of summer, and when they're supposed to be out deep on Lanier, right? And then the third one I caught to really seal the deal for me was I was following it around, and man, she finally. I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at. I was kind of starting to think maybe it was some catfish or something like that. And next thing you know, man, when they hit it too, people talk about big fish bites that you don't really feel it. They just kind of inhale it. No, man, you felt
that one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought I had a striper at first for a second, and then I got it close to the boat, and I was like, "It's a giant!" The
excitement. That's what it's all about.
That's it, and the heart starts racing, and it's so much fun.
Heck yeah! Do y'all have a lot of striper and Lanier? Or are they
striper?
like?
Oh
yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah. They stock yearlings. The striper on Lanier is kind of a tourist attraction. There's a lot of striper guides out there, and I mean they're fun to catch. I like to go out there with my medium and medium light stuff and some light tests, and go out there and just let them pull me around for a little bit.
They are fun.
It's probably the hardest fighting fish on Lake Lanier, in my opinion.
I can see that. I mean, Lake Murray is very similar, which I don't fish Murray a ton, but it's very similar. It sounds like it's a herring lake.
Yeah.
A ton of striper guys there. It's more of a tourist thing, or like somebody just get fishing. Mm-hmm. Not to say that any fish is easy to catch, but it's a little easier to drag a piece of herring around on a lake.
Yeah. I agree with that. Then we got Bottom Line here wants to know football head jig, pull or hop, does it matter?
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's again, I hate to keep going back to it, but the fish are going to tell you. But I like to, in individual casts, I'll do both. I'll drag it for a little while, and then I might pop it. I imagine whatever. So if I'm using like a or something, I'm trying to mimic a crawfish, I'm going to do like a drag and pop, 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 pop. If you've ever seen a crawfish swim away, they like to dart, and they're quick, man. They like tuck their body in. Well, when you pull a jig like that, it looks almost like a tucked body crawfish.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to replicate a bluegill or a small crappie or something like that, I'm going to kind of do a little bit more of like the pop, because I want the jig to come up and I want it to float down a little bit more. But those also dart. So as it's floating down, dart. You might want to pull another dart to make it look like it's either swimming towards something or away from something.
Yeah. It's a good answer. I agree with that. Then Wilkie Adventures wants to know, what line do you use for your wacky and shaky head? Example, straight braid, fluoro, or braided leader?
So this is a love-hate for me. I want to fish it on straight braid because I feel super confident in the fact that I'm not going to lose big ones around all the trees and stumps. But I have in the past, I'd say 3 years, really just I stick with 15-pound fluorocarbon. That is the number for me. I don't want to say it out loud and jinx me. I can't remember the last time I broke one off. It's going to happen, and it does happen. I've broken a few off after I've been dumb and like caught like a fin or mudfish and not retied. So that was a user error. Like that was my fault. I should retie, and I'm a stickler for retying. But I will say for 100% certainty that I get more bites when I'm fishing fluorocarbon on my shaky head.
Okay.
And then on the wacky rig for me, I'm throwing most of the time 10-pound straight braid.
Straight braid.
Yeah, but 10-pound. And then if I do go to Lanier or some of the clear lakes, I'll do a 8-pound 40 leader on it.
Dang, you fishing for that's some on you fishing with.
Yeah, but you know, I don't use it much. I got one spinning rod in the boat, and
Okay, all right.
so if I'm
So
throwing it, it's because the bite's pretty
using-
finicky that day. So yeah, it's light. But I really haven't had a problem. I've been throwing the new what's the suffix finesse braid, the revolve or something like that. I've been throwing it in 10-pound. I haven't had a problem breaking anything off, and that's fishing around reeds and grass. So
Cool.
heck yeah.
I'm all braid to leader. Any of my braids got leader on it except for like a buzz bait or a frog or something like that.
I can't say on here how I really feel about that situation. About that leader type thing. I said it before privately. I'm not gonna say it on here.
But I know how you feel about it. What's the best? What's the best time to come to a relaxed retreat for someone that's never been there? I'd really like to bring the kayak and fish for a couple days.
Okay. So the very best time, and I'm going to make this a little bit like string it down to a week because I can definitely be wrong on that. I would say your very best 30 days would be like the last week of March until the last weekend of April. I would say if you're looking for like big fish, if you're looking for a fish of a lifetime, that 30-day window. But really, you know, I've had the end of February, from the end of February all the way to the beginning of May. I've had magnificent days that I've caught several fish over the 20-inch mark. But yeah, for sure, if you want a 1 month span, and I will say Relax Retreat books up really fast because I have a big mouth, and I've told a lot of people that's probably the best year to be there. So if you do, go ahead and book with them. And speaking of Relax Retreat, man, they have a ton of cabins. So they have it like where you can go with a large group. They have these small cabins where you can get in with just you and your wife, or you know, you and one other person. Have, you know, middle-sized cabins that sleep 6. You can bring a camper if you have that. I mean, it's really all around. They can accommodate just about anybody, and it's easily the most peaceful end of the lake. Parts of Santee that a bunch of houses, a bunch of neighborhoods, and things like that. And there's other parts to where you feel like you are in a movie, like The Hills Have Eyes. So, like, you can go down the road and feel like you're in a completely different world. Relax Retreat is the perfect blend of in between. I don't know, 15 minutes away from restaurants. They have food there. They sell supplies there. They sell fishing lures. They sell tactical baits there as well. So, I mean, they have all the good stuff. And I have recommended all those baits that they have in there to keep those in store. You know, maybe as a security blanket for myself, maybe a little selfishness. I'm like, you guys really need to keep these in here just in case.
I heard something about their breakfast too, huh?
Man, that breakfast sandwich, that breakfast sandwich, when I have to put a disclaimer, make sure you use the restroom before you go in the water. There's something about that breakfast sandwich with that good sausage and egg and that buttery biscuit that you are going to, feel like you want to take a nap afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then you mentioned tactical. I know, Alex, you're big on the tactical stuff. What other companies are you associated with?
So I actually, there's a hat company called Palmetto Hat Co. And hat maker. They make custom hats, patch style hats. And what's really cool, Mark is the guy's name that owns that company. He can create any idea in your head. I'm not an artist, but you can be like, hey, this is kind of what I want on my hat. And he'd be like, say less, I got you. And he comes up with like 5 or 6 different designs that you would like. Or if you even have a specific logo that you want, he can do that. But they can do all kinds of custom hats. So Palmetto Hat Co., excellent, highly recommend. And I'm also affiliated with Relax Retreat, part of their Retreat Elite, highly skilled group of anglers who love fishing Santee and love talking about kayaks, fishing. And yeah, I mean, that's, I'm not like a sponsor chaser. I'm still new in the game and I'm weird. I like to kind of like prove myself. I just want to like prove that I can achieve these type of goals without the sponsorship. So I don't want to do it for like money. I want to do it because I want to build an actual relationship within the fishing industry. This company, like Tactical Fishing, I wouldn't use their baits if I didn't like using their baits. And the owner of that, Andrew Blair, I think I don't know if he's been on this show particularly, but I know he's been on, yeah. So, I mean, he likes to talk.
We actually had a power failure and our end of the show shut down and he ran the last hour just.
I watched that episode. I could not watching. That was like cinema.
Yeah.
He was taking questions all over the place. Damn, question for you, answer for you, question for you.
And then what kayak shop do you have up there? Because we got several down here. Like Alex and I both deal with Festive Water, but there's several other kayak shops down here. What do you guys have up there?
So we do have Relax Retreat actually became a dealer recently for Bonafide and Outdoors.
Okay.
And then we have Muddy Bay Outfitters, which is in New Bay, which is closer to like Columbia. Maybe I guess it's north of Columbia or maybe west of. We have Time Out Sports in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, which I know for a long time they were a Hobie dealer. I think I have to be going through a transition now with the whole Bass Pro Shops thing. So I'm not 100% sure, but they're local and they've helped me out. I like getting kayak supplies from there instead of ordering them online. I'm a I like to support small business.
Right.
And the name is slipping me right now. There's another one. Long owns it in Columbia. So it's sad to say I'm just drawing a blank actual name of it. He actually sponsors SMKA. So I'm going to thoroughly apologize that I cannot remember the name of that currently. I'm going to have to look it up. But I do know Jeff owns that place, and he is an excellent man. I actually fished a couple tournaments with him this year. So not only does he sponsor the club, but he's actually active in the club as well.
That's awesome.
And I believe he's like Torquedo. He has Torquedos, I believe, up there because that's what we were talking about one day. So there's a couple different kayak shops in the area, but Relax is the closest one to me. That one in this Time Out Sports here in Mount Pleasant.
Okay. How many guys do you have in your club?
So paid members, I want to say we had 53 last year, and we're a growing club. I think the club is 5 or 6 years old. This is going into our 6th year now. Yeah, we have 3 paid members. You don't have to. LC Angler Paddle Sports. Thank you. Jeez, I'm so sorry, Jeff. But yeah, so we had 53 paid members. Say on average, we have anywhere between 20 and 30 usually fish each event. We had 38. Yeah, it was pretty good. We did the Jack's Creek, was that Relax Retreat. We had 38 at that tournament. We did like a big cookout afterwards.
That's good stuff, man. Those are good numbers. Those are really good.
I feel like it is. And again, it goes back to just I try and make personal contact with everybody in the club. Because that's one thing that I didn't like about Bass Pro tournaments is that it's always tight lips, not saying nobody. I personally enjoy talking a little competitive trash. That's like I enjoy doing. I've always loved doing that and playing sports.
Trash talks them up.
It is. It's the best part. I don't care if I lose. I just want to talk trash for a little while.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And Kevin says now that he's got forward-facing sonar on his kayak, he can see just how aggressively he's been lifting jigs and shaky head and how slow they actually fall. Yeah, it's crazy how slow they fall and like how far they'll move. A lot of people like to say hook sets are free, right? But until you see how far your jig moves on a hook set that maybe if you wouldn't have ripped it away from them, they might have bit it. You know what I mean? It moves pretty far. You'll go at least, a good 10 feet on one rip. And so it's kind of changed my mind on the hook sets are free kind of thing. I mean, you can always throw it back out there, but.
That's strike zone. You're scaring the fish. Do you see that a lot on FFS? If you move the bait sometimes too erratically or jerk it too fast that they swim off?
Yeah, they'll turn around and swim away.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get their attention again, but they've already seen it. You know what I mean? It's in my opinion, you're better off grabbing something else to throw to them if you're going to try and go after that same fish again. It's worked out for me before throwing the same thing in there, but on the same token, it's like dragging over a brush pile and you pull the whole school. A lot of guys, like in a boat, they'll pull the motor and leave. Well, I'll sit there for 30 minutes, right? I'll sit there and watch them. It don't take long for them to turn around and go back to that brush pile. But how many times am I going to be able to run over it with my underspin? You know what I mean? Before they're like, all right.
I've seen that thing. I know what that thing is.
Right, exactly. Let's see. Jack's Creek, if you want numbers, February and October through November for want numbers, February and October through November. Fat pregnant girls, March and April. Okay.
I can't disagree with that. I'm waiting to see Caleb catch numbers out of Jack still.
Or anywhere for that matter, huh?
or really anywhere, yeah. A mud hole pond near Florence, South Carolina.
Let's see. Yeah, I pulled this one up. Relaxed Retreat is by far the best place to stay on Santee year round, no doubt. Such a friendly staff. Yeah, I've never been. I've never even been to Santee, but well, I'm planning a trip up there, and I'm gonna stay at Relaxed Retreat, man, and I'm gonna get some of them biscuits and hopefully catch me some good fish. Hopefully.
Absolutely. I'm gonna see if I can't help you out.
Hopefully, I'll catch more fish than grass. I will be.
Well, yeah. If you're thinking about coming, it's a little grassy then, but I mean, there's still big fish there. They just change the way they bite.
Okay. Yeah.
But the good news is they love the underspin there.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's good to hear. I love my underspin. Spot choker all the way, baby.
I know you got me hooked on it.
Yeah. That's the man, and I found I was throwing prop heads, right? Because I started fishing on Lanier, really. I wasn't catching nothing. And then I met a guy at work. He had a boat, and he was going out fishing at night. They were fishing dock lights. And he's like, man, you got to come out with us. It's the middle of winter, dude. It's like 20 degrees at night. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't really want to be that cold, And he started showing me pictures of the striper that they were catching on dock lights. And I was like, all right, so we going Friday, And I just took what they were showing me on the boat at night and started using it in the daytime, and I started catching fish. So I just kind of started trying to go off of that, watching different videos and tactical bassing and stuff like that, because I didn't know what I was doing at all. And
right.
I saw an underspin, so I was like, all right, let me go try and find some of those. So I went through a few different variations and iterations of underspins. I really like the spot chokers. He's local, small company here, and he does a really good job. And they run true, and if they don't run true, he wants to know about it and he'll make it right. But a couple of other honorable mentions are the fish head spin. Those are pretty good. And Demiki actually makes a good underspin too. It's got a really strong hook in it. I've never had an issue with their hooks or anything where like the fish head spin when you're catching striper and stuff, you know what I mean? It's not really
right.
But they'll straighten out a hook on you. Where I don't have that problem with spot choker. Never had that problem with the Demiki ones either.
Yeah, I was just in my mailbox. There's spot chokers that I think you said I was going to try. I think you sent them in like August or something last year. I hadn't seen them in the mail yet. I checked it though.
Well, you want the big hook. He ain't had the big hook out yet. It's coming.
That is fair point. Fair point.
Coming just for you guys, because I've asked him a couple times. I'm like, man, my friends down there or over there in South Carolina, they really like them, but they need that bigger hook.
I do like the blade size though.
You guys aren't throwing the little, 2-inch minnows and stuff that we are here.
No.
How
No,
deep
I
is
say
how deep is
3.
Santee Lakes?
I'm sorry.
How deep are the Santee Lakes? Like at their deep?
I, at their deepest, if I don't know 100, sure, I want to say like 60 something feet might be the deepest part.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're large lakes. They're vast. They're just not deep. And I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong because again, I'm not going out and see. There's 60 something feet of water. I've catfished out there, like in a boat, in deeper water like that.
Okay.
Strangely enough, the best catfishing I've done has been at night in like 3 foot of water.
Wow.
Especially in the summertime, they like to get like on the dirt.
Lake Greenwood. Let's see. What 8 baits should I bring to Santee if I come in April?
All right, 8 baits. So I would say that you should absolutely get a shaky head. I would say swimming worm of some type. Tactical Fishing Company has the private. Zoom has the speed worm, some kind of swimming worm. Spinner bait, small square bill bait, frog. In that time of year, I would say a finesse jig, not necessarily a full size jig. I would actually go with a finesse jig to give it a different look at, and a wacky rig.
Okay.
Yep, I would say those would be the 8 baits I would have tied on that time of year.
Okay. And Wilkie Adventures wants to know if you could choose one environment to fish: open water, grass, rocks, trees, etc., and one bait to ride or die by, what is it?
I feel like I'm not very interesting, but I am just gonna say it. I'd pick a shaky head.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter. I fish shaky head in grass, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not an innovator by any means, but I told people where I'm catching fish, I catch them on shaky head, and I don't think they believe me because there's so much grass.
Yeah.
It ain't the way. There's guys punching and stuff over there, but I find a way to like find these little tiny holes, and I'll work the death out of that little hole with a shaky head. Drop it in there, and I'll let it sit, and then I'll wiggle a little bit, or I'll throw like on the edges, and I'll catch them. What I found though is a lot of time there may be a large population of fish under the grass mat, but I found that the larger ones are sitting just outside of the grass, and they're waiting on an opportunity to come out of that little deeper water to feed right on that grass line. I've literally watched them come up and just destroy something right on the edge of the grass. So I've just taken that knowledge and I'll focus on the grass line instead of in the grass.
You like to throw a chatterbait at all?
I do. I do throw a chatterbait a lot. I guess I kind of missed on that one, and mainly because St. is going through a major change right now. There's a massive amount of hydrilla coming back into the lake, which is going to be a good thing. And theoretically, you would think that a chatterbait would work even more, and it does a lot of time of the year. I personally didn't do well with a chatterbait this year, and it wasn't for a lack of trying. There was days that I only took chatterbaits with me. I had different color chatterbaits, and had very few bites on them this year. It was a me thing, or I was in the wrong area. But the year before, 2024, it was like my number 2 bait. I mean, it was like shaky head chatterbait, speed worm. It was just, that's how it was. I was getting big bites. For whatever reason, I just didn't have very good success with it this year.
Okay.
But yeah, they were
Worms this year, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was mainly worms this year, and frogs.
Yeah.
Frogs were a pretty big player for me this year. I lost
like a topwater frog.
Yeah, topwater, hollow body, tactical fishing frog, which I've always liked frog fishing. I just had great success with a hookup ratio. So 12 bites in a day, and I might land 4 of them, which always seems weird, but that's kind of why I'd stop fishing them. I'm like, wow, that's to get 12 bites and only land 4. 25%, that's not a very good landing ratio. It's just not a fish. So fishing with Andrew, I told him, I was like, man, I'm just not a frog guy. He was like, man, please just take this frog, give it a shot. And I had a fantastic, like the first 8 bites I had, I landed up, and I was like, so here, just take my money.
Okay.
I did lose a probably double digit right in front of like 9 this year on a frog. That was kind of, I still think about that fish. Actually, when I lay down at night, there's at least a 15, 20-second interval of me. Like, I literally had the edge of my kayak. I was reaching down to spit the frog right back at me.
Oh, man. John, do you ever throw a hollow body frog?
Yeah, I throw a frog a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, his question about your one type of fishing and what bait is reeds. I love water willow, so a lot around grass and reeds. And I prefer a wake bait if I can get them to come out of the grass. But yeah, I throw a frog a lot. I like the river to sea. I seem to have a decent hookup ratio. I haven't tried the tactical ones though.
Okay.
What about you? Open water and underspin? Is that your answer on that?
As much as I would want to say underspin, it's shaky head.
Really?
I can take that to the open water. I can throw it at the bank. I can throw it in brush piles. I can throw it on rock piles. I'll throw that thing anywhere. I love fishing a shaky head.
Yeah, like I said, mine's a 6-inch weight bait, so yeah. I throw that thing year round. I don't care how cold it is.
When I pull up like on a deep brush pile, the first thing I'm gonna do is throw an underspin or like a ball head minnow, like a rolling strolling setup. But if they come out and follow it, and I don't even get a nibble or anything, I'm going into the brush with a shaky head or a jig.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, I'll pull at least 2 of them out before I've got to move. And I'll always come back, 20, 30 minutes later. I'll just move to the brush pile over here because there's so much brush on Lanier. It's never really like I got to run that far. It's like a 2-minute ride, maybe tops.
Yeah.
And, I'll fish that brush for a little bit until I feel like I've wore out my welcome there, and then I'll turn around and go back to the other one. And I'll just run the same pattern over again.
Awesome. I would have never pictured Lanier being like a brush pile fishery.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But in my mind, I never thought that.
Well, we've got a lot of standing timber too. I think that guys kind of figured out the standing timber stuff, and we're like, well, if I can take some trees and sink them, I'll have my own timber that nobody else knows about. You know what I mean? And then LiveScope came out, and there's no such thing as a secret brush pile anymore. It's everybody can find them. It's you pull up on a point on Lanier, there's brush on it. Every point on Lanier's got brush on it, and some of it's natural, most of it's not.
Yeah, is Lanier like a heavily populated lake? A lot of houses on the lake. A lot
very
of
developed. There's docks.
Massive amount of boat traffic.
Yeah, a lot of boat traffic, especially in the summertime out on the main lake. It's almost unfishable on a kayak. Mainly not because you're like going to get flipped over or anything like that. It really depends on your boat, but from a safety standpoint of getting run over, you know what I mean? There's so many people just not paying attention to what they're doing, and it's dangerous. It's really dangerous.
Well, it's probably a lot of I'm assuming drinking.
And I mean, I only live 2 miles from Allatoona, but I only fish it in the winter when they drop the water down and you don't have all the pleasure boats out there because, especially Allatoona, it's so narrow you can't get away from people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I fish a lot of the smaller electric only reservoirs during the summertime.
Yeah. So I've heard some rumors about these smaller reservoirs down that way. So being that you're a fellow shallow water fisherman, you had to pick one of those lakes in your area to fish. If I was come from South Carolina and come visit, which one would it be?
Wow. I mean, my favorite's the nasty little lake, Lake Ackworth, but it really doesn't have the quality of fish as some of the others. It's just I find they're easier to catch there.
Gotcha.
But Rocky Mountain is a PFA, public fishing. They do a fantastic job managing that lake, and there's some big ones out of there. And then Hickory Log is one that's worth checking out. It's got a bunch of really small fish, but every year they pull out several 9 and 10 pounders. So if you've got the patience or the knowledge of that particular lake, you can catch some big fish out of it. And it's the biggest of the local ones, I think, in it, Alex. It's like 411 acres.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's a run to get from the ramp to the dam.
Oh yeah, it's about 2.5, 3 miles. That's a long way to paddle.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Ackworth's only 260, but it's very shallow and very dirty.
I like that. That's like my personality. So it kind of feels
Shallow
like I
and
would
dirty.
like mesh well with that lake.
And then there's a couple other up near Rome, Salicoa, and then Sloppy Floyd. They got shallow. They've got a lot of water willow, which is the grass I like to fish. I just don't hit them very often just because it's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I live. I mean, what would you guys consider like too long of a drive for your day trip?
For just a fun day trip of fishing,
Yeah.
probably hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, hour and a half. I've got other stuff
I'm right there
to do. I normally only get to fish about 4 to 6 hours. So I don't want to spend more time on the road than I spend on the water.
Amen.
It's hard for me to go anywhere else when I've got Lanier 7 minutes away. And then I've got Hollis Latham 15 minutes away the other direction. So I just kind of pick, and I just usually go to one of them two.
Yeah, because I've got Latham, Hickory Log, and Ackworth all within 40 minutes of the house. And then at Lake Allatoona during the wintertime. And it's, like I said, I'm only 2 miles from Allatoona.
Y'all in lake heaven down there.
Oh, yeah, man. There's a lot of water around us here.
Yeah. I mean, I have one small lake near me. It's called Goose Creek Reservoir. I guess it's about 15, 20 minutes from my house. And kind of like the lake you talked about earlier. You'll go out there and catch a bunch of dinks, and then you can catch a 7 or 8 pounder on your next cast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Hickory Log's slowly turning around. A few years ago, I first started kayak fishing in 2018. And you'd go out there and you'd catch 20 or 30 fish, and none of them would break 2 pounds. And it's really turning around over the last couple of years. They've been catching some decent fish out of there. You still got to wade through a whole bunch of little ones, but the big ones are swinging around. So
I feel like I can deal with that as long as you're getting bites. You know, it's the toughest days for me are the days where I'm chasing a giant, and you know, you get like 3 bites.
Yeah,
you know, it's just long, drawn out days, and then I feel like I'm not prepared when I finally get the bite because I'm so humdrum and I'll kind of mentally debilitate myself to where I'm just like waiting and I'm just through the motions instead of actually fishing. All of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
A lot of times I feel like I'm missing.
It's chaos.
It is. It is. Caleb said it's trash.
Alex, what is your longest run from a ramp when you fish Lanier, and how many spots are you trying to hit? If I move 4 miles, it takes me 2 hours on average off my fishing time. Wow. So I don't really know like the distance that I cover per se. I will cover quite a bit of water, but I'm trying to not drop my motor or pedals in and not fish for 2 hours. You know, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go somewhere close, and I'll fish my way down, right? An example on Lanier, I'll drop in at Mary Alice Park, and I'll head over like by the Habersham Arena, and I'll run all the way up to the end of that creek. I don't know what creek it is. I think it's like Mashburn Mill or something like that. And I'll run all the way to the end of that creek, and then I'll turn around and I'll go back past the ramp and up into Baldridge past the marina over there. And that ride takes me a while. Now there's about 3 or 4 spots on the way that I will try and stop and fish. Yeah, it doesn't matter where I'm fishing, like what lake. When I pick a ramp, I'm picking a ramp that has fishing spots. I'm not picking a ramp to launch out of and then go pedal, motor, whatever for an hour or two before I go and start fishing. That's not what I'm trying to do. I always try to find a place that's like this. My favorite one over here by the house. It's where I'm gonna fish this tournament this coming weekend, and I'll put in at the boat ramp and travel about 20 feet, and I'll start catching fish. It's, you know, I try to do as little bit of moving as possible.
And then what
So it's
motor do
funny
you
say
have,
that.
and what's your top speed, Alex?
So I've got the XI3. It's 55-pound thrust.
Okay.
And before I was so heavy, I was getting about 5.5, but now I'm like 4.7 at full speed. So 4.7 miles an hour.
Okay.
I can break 5 again, like if I've got the wind at my back or something like that. Now, if I'm traveling into the wind, it's like 4 miles an hour. It's slow, but when you're out there on the open water and it's windy and stuff, and you got boats around, it's nice to have the spot log. That's why I got it. I know I'd be a lot faster if I had like a Newport or something like that on there.
You're faster than me pedaling my legs off anyway. And I get tired and your motor doesn't, so.
I don't even take the pedal drive with me anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Take it as like a backup. Like, what if my battery dies? Or
My battery ain't gonna die.
it only takes one time for you to
Knock
regret
on
that
wood.
decision. Yeah.
I've only had one motor issue. And I mean, I'm a handy guy. You know what I mean? I'm an auto mechanic. I've built race cars for over 10 years and stuff, so I'm pretty handy with wiring and stuff. If something stops working, I'm gonna beach that thing and figure it out. You know, I've got
Yeah.
tools and stuff in my black pack, so that it's got to be a very serious failure to take me out. And at that point, the Slayer's not that bad to paddle.
It's not.
It's really not. I've got a nice bending branches paddle that I've got. I carry it with me.
The Slayer's a lot more narrow than my boat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Which boat do you have?
Titan X 12 and a half.
Yeah. He's got that
Yeah, I can
floating
imagine
dock.
that being. Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
And I can hit
paddle.
in a drag race. I can hit about 4.4 miles per hour, but that doesn't last long.
No, it doesn't.
You know, I can maintain 3.2 for long distance pedaling, but yeah, it's still not going to hang with you with a motor.
Yeah, but I mean, you have superior stability, though. You know, stand up in it, fish if you wanted to. I mean, you don't have to really worry about. I mean, any kayak you can fall out of, or
no, this thing you can just stand up and walk around on.
Yeah,
it's a.
I was so impressed. I demoed that thing at the Festive Water demo day, and I hadn't been on a Titan yet. And everybody's always like, "Man, you need to get a Titan. You need to get a Titan. You need to get a Titan." And I need to get a Titan.
What was cool is that Dad and his kid that borrowed it or demoed it that day. Is the kid standing on top of my black pack fishing while the dad's pedaling around. I mean, the boat is so stable.
And it's not that.
And that was your boat they were demoing in.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, and so they got out. The dad's pedaling, the kid's standing on top of my black pack, casting off the back of the boat while they're going across the lake. So, yeah, it's as stable as a floating dock, but it's not as fast.
It's not that the Slayer's not stable. I mean, I stand in it, and I'll travel with the motor and stuff like that, and I'll fish out of it. But I'm not gonna net a fish standing up. Not that I don't think the kayak can take it. I don't think I could take it.
Yeah,
it's more of a secondary stability kayak,
right.
And I just feel like I'd probably fall out.
Yeah, one of my previous kayaks was like that. It was the secondary stability was stronger, and I did nearly fall out in a couple of Februarys ago.
Yeah,
and I decided I keep my butt in the seat if it's that cold anymore. So.
I do a lot of fishing standing up, but you know, I'll fight them standing up unless it's like a giant striper that's towing me around or something. I'll fight them standing up until they get close to the boat, and then I'll sit down, get my net them. A lot of people ride over bass by the ramp to get to the bass across the lake. That's exactly right, and they can keep riding over those bass because those are my bass.
Yep.
I've got a lot of I'm not gonna drop the name of the ramp because I'm fishing there. But even the kayak guys that launch out of there for tournaments, they take off. I'm like, all right, see ya.
Yep. One thing, and you know, it's the long-standing joke: the guy fishing off the bank wants to be in the boat. The guy in the boat is fishing at the bank.
Yeah.
It's just that we just where we can't go. That's all it is.
Right. It's like when I'm standing at the bank and I'm like, man, that dock over there where they're blowing up, if I could just be right there,
100%.
I try to go after work when I can, but with the short days, I'm lucky to get an hour of fishing in, but it's still time on the water and experience. Yeah, that's the one downfall about the wintertime, man. It gets dark at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it does stink. Do you guys away from like any saltwater fishing where you're located? Several hours, I guess.
Yeah. How far away is Savannah? Isn't that
It's
the
4.
coast? Yeah, 4 hours.
3.5, 4 hours.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good ride.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of saltwater opportunities here near me. Savannah's actually only about 2 hours from me as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been during time of year, I like to saltwater fish a lot more.
Yeah, I've never had my kayak out on the saltwater.
Oh man, it's awesome. You are open invitation if you ever want to come down here. This is actually the time I recommend. Anytime October or February, honestly, is when I would say that the saltwater fishing for the reds anyway is peak. So I just went. I was on a little vacation this weekend on Edisto Island, and there's some saltwater ponds there, and I fished for about an hour. It was windy, rainy, cold, so I was more into just hanging out and having fun with family and some friends. But I went for about an hour, and I mean about a 50-inch red, a giant red. I guess they get stuck in these saltwater ponds. Came up and tried to hit a spook that I was fishing on top. Completely missed it, but it was awesome because it was about 10 feet away from me. So I got to see it turn, look up, and just dart at my bait. And it was pretty cool. I love seeing that.
Let's see. War Eagle replied to me. He said, I don't continuously move 1 hour. In a mile stretch, I'll hit 4 or 5 spots, about 20 spots per trip. Traveling between spots still takes some time. Yeah, so I'll probably fish maximum maybe 12, 15 spots. That's on a high side. Like I said earlier, I like to recycle. I know that it's a very popular opinion around here that once you get over them or you pull them from the brush or whatever, that they shut down or they're not going to bite for you. And I've found that to not be the case. If they're going to eat, they're going to eat, and if they're not, they're not. And obviously, I'll adjust my plan accordingly. But if I pull up on a spot and I catch a fish or I catch 2 fish, I'll leave and I'll come back to that spot 20, 30, 40 minutes later after I've already fished. So I try not to go too far away, and I'll just recycle, 6 to 10 spots, and it seems to work for me pretty well.
Yeah, and I do that same thing even fishing, very shallow in the laydowns. Stuff that I fish is if you end up getting snagged and have to go in and get it out and blow a spot up, if you give it 30 minutes to an hour, they reset and they're ready to bite again anyway.
Shit, even I posted a video this summer, man. I'm fishing a big laydown in the water. You can't see it like at all from the bank. Like it's not like laying in the water, but it's down there. And I got snagged up, motored over there, got unsnagged, backed up maybe 5 feet, and threw right back into the laydown and caught one. Like it was crazy.
I think we give fish too much credit sometimes. Like
at the same time, I feel like we don't give them enough credit too.
Yes, exactly. I think it does go both ways. Like you're saying, I remember this exact situation you telling me. The same thing happened. What you were saying, John Brock, had to go all the way up to the log, pull my bait out. I've had fish come out of the water trying to hit the bait as I'm pulling it out of the water off of the log. And I'm like, dude.
I think that we have an advantage, right? For them not being able to see us as well as maybe 2 or 3 guys standing on a boat, or even standing in the kayak. Or like if you were standing up, maybe you wouldn't have seen that. You know what I mean? Who knows? Really, there's so many variables, right? You never know if it's your lure selection or if it's you or if it's your line or Did you reel it too fast? Did you reel it too slow? Should you have thrown it at this log or that log over there? Like, there's so many different variables, and they're constantly changing.
Yep. But that's what makes fishing so much fun, is all of those changing variables.
Yep.
All.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I did, John, I wanted to ask you, I know you said you like to fish with the wake baits.
Yeah.
So I've never fished with the new, like, true wake baits, but have you ever been a fan of the Man one? You ever fished those?
No, I haven't. What started me on the wake bait was the Spro Zero Minnow, which kind of looks like old Rapala stick bait, and it goes 6 inches subsurface. And I started catching a bunch of fish on those, and switched over to a bull shad wake bait, which is significantly bigger, and really started catching big fish on it. And that kind of got me hooked onto getting into the bigger multi-joint baits and then the glide baits. But the little Berkeley weight bull, it's like a square bill, but it's got a vertical bill on it. That's a good, like, standard, conventional size weight bait. I've caught a bunch of fish on that little thing.
Yeah, there was a gentleman I fished with recently. I don't know what type bait he was using, but he came literally right behind the fish. And I caught, I think I caught 18 and like a 16 and a quarter out of the spot. He came right behind me and caught a 21, literally behind me on a wake bait. And I was like, all right. But I've always traditionally used Man's -1.
Yeah, I've never tried that one.
Oh my, it's awesome. If every now and again I run across somebody selling some on eBay, and I'll buy them up. But I have found out that you can buy them and have somebody paint them. So I guess somebody else is manufacturing the blanks for it. So try those out and give them a shot.
And then I know Buka brand, which is bull shad's like mass-produced baits through GSM. They've just released the 5-inch bull wake, which is ABS. So instead of like $65, it's only $16.
I like that.
Got it on order. It's not in yet, so I haven't thrown it to see how it compares to the resin bait. But I'm looking forward to that. Once a year I take a trip up north to Michigan, and I don't throw a lot of my more expensive baits because the pike will cut them off. But with, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of the bigger companies collabing with some of the other swim bait guys, you can get ABS baits for a lot cheaper, and it doesn't hurt my feelings near as bad when I lose one to a pike.
So when you're fishing ABS compared to resin, like, what are the biggest differences between the two? Besides,
really, well, like I said, I haven't tried the wake bait yet, but I can compare the trick shad, which the bull shad one's resin, the Buka brand one is ABS. I feel like I have to use the ABS. I've got to fish it quicker. I feel like I'm more versatile with the resin bait. I can adjust the rate of sink a lot easier with it. I can get it to do exactly what I want it to do, whether I want it to pause as it goes under a log or speed it up. I feel like the ABS, you're kind of tied down to more of a single speed that you can fish it. But that single speed works for the most part. Like I said, I get it. The trick gill, I can really walk under a log. And if the fish are being slow because it's 95-degree water temp, I can just pause it under a log. Whereas the ABS one, you got to keep moving with it.
Okay.
But I've caught even the little ABS ones, which are like under $40. I mean, I've caught smallmouth, largemouth, spots, pike. I've caught a bunch of fish on it, and it's really not expensive.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them of the ABS ones.
And then Spro's got the little guy that just came out, which is a smaller version of the Chat. I want that pretty badly. I just haven't bought it yet.
I want one too.
I think especially on like where you're fishing with a lot of spots.
Yeah,
I think that thing would be a killer up there.
Yeah, so do I. So do you modify your swim baits and glide baits?
The only one I've spent and I didn't modify it. Luckily, I live 15 minutes from bull shad.
Yeah.
So I bought the 7-inch trick gill, and it was a slow sink, but I wanted it to suspend in the water temperature that we were at, because water temp's going to make it behave a little differently anyway. But so they adjusted the internal ballast weight for me so that it was actually suspending. And so the way I'm fishing it is I'm holding my rod tip underwater to the depth I want to go. So if I want to go a foot deep, I hold my rod tip under and crank it about 3 times to pull it under. And then it'll just pause. And you can walk it under docks, walk it under laydowns.
Okay, so you're not adding weight to it and wrapping the hooks and stuff like that?
No, I have not fished glide baits in the middle of winter. I tend to go to the soft baits like the burrito or the multi joints. And on the multi joints, they make slow sink and fast sink. So I just buy the fast sink for winter when I want to fish them deeper. But I have not. Yeah, I know John Serra modifies by wrapping lead wire on his hooks and fishing them deeper. But he's also using forward facing, which I'm not. So as far as fishing deep, typically my wintertime go-to on big baits is a 6-inch burrito, but my main bait's a rock crawler.
Yeah.
So the Spro rock crawler, I'm covering water until I find fish, and then I'm switching over to the 6-inch burrito and trying to pick up the larger fish out of that area.
Okay.
But yeah, I love the rock crawler. So.
That's actually a really good point, how you bring that up, that you're using one bait to find fish, and then you'll break down the area with different baits. I mean, for somebody that doesn't use electronics, I feel like that's
right. I think it's an adaptation I've had to do because I don't use electronics, and the electronics I do have, I'm not very good at because I don't pay much attention to them. So I will Google Earth Pro, go back a few years till the water level was low, and I'll find underwater structure, whether it's a road bed or whatever, and then hit those points with a rock crawler until I find the fish, and then start throwing big baits in.
Are you one of those type of people that, because when I'm at study, I just kind of remember areas of the lakes. So like how Alex, you're saying, you'll already know you got this target.
Yeah, and because I am pedal drive, I'm not covering as much water. So what I'll do on Google Earth Pro is I will find something that looks promising when the water was low, and then I will try to zoom in on the bank and find something that I can find, whether it's a big tree or like the little local lake, there's a tree that's been struck by lightning. And I go past it's where an old roadbed is. So I try to look for markers that are on the bank that then I can transfer over to at least get close. And like on the roadbed, if I'm filling the rock crawler, hit rock, I know I'm on the roadbed. If it's pulling up mush, I know I've kind of missed my spot a little, and I kind of readjust looking for that tree again. So it's probably a dumb way to do it when there are electronics that make it a lot easier, but I enjoy it. I like the map study. I like looking at the navionics at home. You know, I'm a nerd. I read all the fish biologist report of every lake I go to. So I like.
There was one night we had some friends hanging out, and it was myself, my wife, a couple friends, and I was looking at my phone. It was a Friday night, and I had a tournament the next day. And her one friend goes, "Are you like? Do you think he's like cheating on you or something?" She goes, "No, he's looking at freaking maps." I spend a lot of time, like you saying, I find like markers, something that I can use, when I'm on the lake to be like, okay, I know where this is compared to this. So
yeah, and I grew up. My dad taught me how to read topo maps when we deer hunted when I was a kid. So that just made navionics just totally second nature. I didn't really have to think about it. So I could read that map easy enough. It was then just learning how to kind of overlay it over Google Maps so I can see underwater without the electronics.
Let's see.
It's funny. Cranking and Yanking just said something not dumb. Use your head for something more than a hat rack there, John.
Yeah.
But what did surprise me is you pulled that hat up. You're like, that boy, you got a bald head. I did not expect that from you. But that head is bald. I figured you'd have like one of those little like cul-de-sacs or something going on. You look like a cul-de-sac, but I guess you went ahead and shaved it off.
Yeah. I got kids and grandkids, so they made it all fall out.
Damn. I hear that.
John, Silverpunk wants to know, have you tried the chop block yet? He's bought a couple and hasn't used them yet.
I haven't. Is that's the new Berkeley one, right?
I don't know.
I've never heard of that either.
I've never heard of it. This John won it, I guess. Just got it in the mail today. He's gonna throw it around tomorrow. He's always fishing, that John Wilson.
Lucky
He's
fella.
our guy. Let's see. I'm a bigger-ish dude and looking to invest the money in a great kayak. I have a stern motor but no pedal drive and have trouble staying in place. Is the pedal drive worth the upgrade? Also, what kayak? So, yeah, I think a pedal drive is 100% worth it if you're using it to try to, be your spot lock per se. I think they're definitely worth it. And I would say if you're a big dude, definitely, Titan X. Titan X it's a killer boat. It really is. It's not going to win you any speed awards like John said, but it's definitely comfortable and it's definitely sturdy and stable.
Yeah, and this is the first pedal drive boat I've had. I've paddled everything up until now. And yeah, it's a game changer when you're especially facing into the wind and trying to keep your boat in place, stay positioned to fish. If I were to put a motor on it, I would probably have gotten a different boat without a pedal drive, so you have more floor space.
Yeah.
Because it is a crowded cockpit with the pedal drive there. But
even with that,
I enjoy having the pedal drive. I don't want a motor. So I'm not that old yet.
That's right. Keep you in shape.
So, Chris, you were in a Hobie before, right?
So yeah, I mean, I had a Hobie Outback was the last kayak I still have it.
And that's the fin drive, right?
It is, and I will say, I don't know how people feel about Hobie. I will say the fin drive to me is better in the grass.
Yeah.
But I was extremely shocked by how well the propel drive worked around grass. I thought I was going to have it wrapped up and just constantly having to pull my drive up to clear out hydrilla. It actually cuts through pretty good and hasn't really caused me much of an issue. I'd say 2 times might be the most in a fishing day. Fishing day for me, like I commit all day to going fishing if I'm going to go most of the time. Mm-hmm. So we're talking 8-10 hour days. Yeah, no, I love the propel drive. Only downside I would say to the pedal drive is John just touched on it. It's a little bit tighter cockpit. I do sometimes wish I had the extra space that you have just a motor have, but I've also been out on motor with my friends who have just a motor and I had to tow him in on my pedal drive, which you gotta look out for your friends.
Another big transition,
a giant boat.
A big transition for me when going to the pedal drive was how much deeper it drafts, because I do fish so shallow that there's several times every day I have to just pull the drive up and paddle or push because I've bottomed out. So
yeah.
And how does that make you feel when you got like the fin, you got like the prop up there by you? I mean, is it uncomfortable for you to fish like that?
No, it's not. It's not bad. And typically, what I'm doing is I have to pull it up to get to where I'm going. Once I get to the hole I'm fishing in, I can drop it back in so I can maintain my boat position.
Oh, okay. You're not fishing with it out like that.
No. It's just like if I'm trying to go, typically what I'll do is I go off the main lake and I'm going to go way up the creek, a feeder creek, or I'm going to drag over a beaver dam. And so I've got to pull that up and then drag the boat over to get to whatever hole I'm fishing. Especially some of the small creeks, the small creeks off the main lake hold big fish and very few people fish for them because it's a pain in the butt to get to them. Sure. And so I'm pulling the drive up, I'm dragging it over sandbars, going to the next hole, fishing it, then pulling it back up and going over the next shallow spot to the next hole. So that kind of slows me down a little compared to how I used to just paddle wherever I wanted to go. But actually getting to the creek mouth is so much faster with a pedal drive. Maintaining your boat position while you're fishing is so much easier with the pedal drive that it's definitely worth having to lift it every once in a while or having less room in your cockpit.
Yeah, I fully agree. And just to go on this question, anytime you're a bigger guy, let's just go ahead and count out 10-foot kayaks. Like that's out of the question. You may see somebody who's I'm 200 pounds and I have a 10-foot kayak, and that may be true. but it's not going to be as comfortable. You need a 12-foot kayak or big. You need the biggest kayak that your money can buy, the best deal that you can get with that, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a large guy by any means, and I'm comfortable in my kayak. I wouldn't mind more room, but I'm comfortable with where I'm at with my 10 and a half.
Yeah. I'm tall. I'm tall and skinny, so I like to have that extra leg room and stuff that the 12.5 brings me. But I don't like the weight, right?
Right.
All the stuff I've put on it now. I've got a trailer, and if I do want to use the landing gear, I've got to haul it down there and then haul all my stuff down there. So I just bought the trailer. So just use the trailer.
Yeah, you're just trying to get that water quick. No time to waste.
No time to waste. That's I break a lot of rules with that. Man, I haul that thing around fully loaded. I don't take the screens off. I don't take the motor off. I leave my black pack back there.
I leave my black pack and my rods on it.
You leave your rods on there?
Well, the horizontal ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so the two on each side of the seat stay in there. The vertical ones go in the car.
Yeah.
I do take the anchor off. I always have
turn
this
into
worry
a
that the
nightmare.
rope's going to break and I'm going to cannonball somebody on the interstate. The anchor always goes in the car.
Yeah, okay. I keep one battery in the car with me, but that's just because I don't have anywhere to strap it, really. I've kind of you've seen, I made a platform back there for it, and that goes in the car, and my rods go in the car, and that's it, man. Everything else is on the kayak from the night before. That way I just pull up, throw my rods on, I plug the batteries in or turn them on, and I drop that thing in the water.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought John G was asking about the hammer with its new folding prop drive.
Yep.
Have you seen that? They had them up at the shop, but I didn't get over there to see it.
I haven't seen them. I've talked to a lot of people about them, right?
Okay.
So it's cool, right? But a lot of people like to do the captain's bridge now, right?
Right. I wondered how it would get in the way of that.
So you can still run a captain's bridge because you don't have to fold it up. You can still pull it out and rest it on the drive cover, just like we do with ours.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to fold it up. So where it would come in handy for me, right, is I would fold that sucker up and tuck it up into the hull so that I could carry the pedal drive with me, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because right now I ain't got nowhere to put it, and I don't want it in between my legs anymore because I like to have that space to handle fish and stuff. And that's the only reason that I don't take it with me, because I like that room, which, I mean, it's still not perfect, right? Because you've got the hump in the floor.
Right.
They've done away with. There's no hump in the floor on the hammer. Silver Punk, I travel with the motor on it.
I actually travel with my motor on it too, my pedal drive. So sometimes if I'm going real fast, I'll see the pedals going, and I'm like, "Oh, slow down."
Get you some extra speed out of the prop, huh?
That's, you know what I'm saying? I'm just breaking it in, like how you stick a buzz bait.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you don't want it squeaking.
I didn't used to travel with the motor.
I want the fish to know who's here to catch them.
I didn't used to travel with the motor on it until I got a bow rest. But once I got the support up there at the front of the trailer, I started leaving the motor on it.
Heck yeah. You still secure it down too. I mean, it's not like, you still got it like strapped down.
On the motor?
Yeah.
No, I just used the quick release pin.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you might have had like a little strap or something too. But.
I mean, I do go through like the handle of the boat and strap it to the trailer, right?
Well, there you go.
But the Bonafides, or not Bonafide, what am I talking? The XI3 has like a little collar on it that slides up and down the shaft, and it's got a knob. You can tighten it up. So I'll move it down all the way so that if it did like deploy or something, it can't deploy, right? So if I hit a big bump or something and the pedal decided to go down or whatever, the motor can't fall. And So that's really it, man. Yeah, no.
That's nice. I know you like being able to just put the lock on. You got the remote control too, right?
Yep.
Which I will say, I haven't put it on my kayak yet. I say no electronics, but I feel like I'm about to cheat on myself. I've had it for a while, and I just haven't put it on my boat. I do have a power pole.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of those things that I've wanted, and I just kind of came across a deal. So I'm gonna put it on my sleigh.
Yeah.
I really love fishing around trees, and on windy days, I think the power pole is gonna be a game changer for me.
It will, 100%. And our natives actually have the bolt pattern back there for it already.
Sure do. That was like the one. That's kind of one of the things that made me switch from the Hobie, to the Swiss. I really just want to be able to mount this, or if I ever decide to go with a motor, it's got again the holes already in it.
Yep.
Big on drilling holes in something that didn't already have them in. I mean, that's what I spend my days doing all the time is doing construction. So I don't feel like drilling holes when I get home.
I turned my kayak into Swiss cheese. I think I've got.
Yeah, but you're very versed in that.
Yeah.
You're doing it the right. I'd be like trial and error. So.
No, John. There's some things coming. We're just not sure when yet. So just keep your eyes peeled. And we're gonna release some of that soon. He wants to know when the GAKFL schedule is gonna come out. We're just trying to figure out when we want to start it, right? It's a tight season, man. Between bass, right? They've got a lot of tournaments and they've crammed them together. So if someone's going to pick, it's going to make people have to pick and choose instead of being able to fish them both. And I think 9 times out of 10, the guys around here are going to go with bass. You know what I mean? So we're just trying to figure out what we can do to get a better turnout, right? Because I think our numbers were like between 8 and 13 guys on average would show up to a tournament, with the exception of Lake Lanier. It doesn't matter what club you have. If you throw a tournament on Lanier, you're going to get a good turnout. That's the one that everybody comes to. So we're trying to do that. We're trying to navigate some of the new rules and stuff that are going to be coming out with the, after the accident on Smith Lake and stuff, where they're looking to hold tournament directors liable and for accidents and stuff like that, even though you signed a waiver and all that good stuff. So we're just trying to navigate the red tape a little bit before we release it.
That's a good call. We just did our TOC, our tournament champions with SMKA, and I'd been watching the wind, and it looked like it was going to be really bad. I mean, obviously you can never tell how it is going to go. And we do like a random draw. We take all of the rams that we fished that season and we spin a wheel, and whatever one it lands on first, that's Saturday. Whatever one it lands on second is on Sunday. And I ended up having to redraw, and it was kind of not an executive decision I made. I gave the information to the anglers, and I said, qualified, you're the ones fishing it, along with myself. Let's vote on either we're going to leave it up to, if we get there Sunday and it's windy, we're canceling the tournament, just letting you know. Or we can pick from these other 5 ramps that will be in a much more heavily protected area of the wind.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you got to take those things in consideration.
Yeah.
Because it is real. I mean, at the end of the day, whether legally I'm held liable or not,
you don't live with the decisions you make.
Exactly. I'm not living with somebody dying or severely getting injured because of some fishing. I mean, I love to fish, but come on, man, it's fishing.
Yeah.
It's not like that serious. Your kids, those are the serious things. Your family.
And sand gets pretty bad in the wind out there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It turns into ocean. So, yeah, it turns into an ocean pretty quick. One time I was actually fishing in a Nitro Z21 with a buddy of mine, Mike Patches. And this cell came in out of nowhere. And my other buddies, Jonathan and Tyler, were in another small console like bay boat, and dude, it came out of nowhere, and the waves were like 4 foot tall. So like you look on your left, if you get right in between the waves, you could literally not see anything but a wall of water on the side of you. And it was the first time that I thought that, okay, my escape plan, how am I going to jump out of this boat, or if I get flipped out of this boat, where am I going to swim to? That way I can get to safety. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty scary. From that day forward, I really just don't take a chance on that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't either. It's I'll always go check it out, right? Like,
sure.
There was a couple times this year where it was like, I don't think it's that windy here, even though the weather says it's windy. And I drive down to the lake and it's just rough and it's white.
Yeah.
And I'm standing at the ramp looking at it and my pants are like flapping and blowing in the wind, and I'm just it's not worth it, right? Like you said, we got more to live for.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Any lakes planned to be added to the schedule that we didn't fish this year? Well, I guess you're just going to have to wait and see when the schedule comes out, Silverpunk.
That's a great way. I mean, keep the intensity, you know what I'm saying? That's awesome. Keep them curious. So do you, because I'm not too familiar with this club. Is this a club you're one of the admins or director?
Yeah, no, I'm not the tournament director. That's my friend, Sham, or a lot of people know him as Sham for Real on social media.
Gotcha.
He's the tournament director, and we do have like a board of directors. And there's let's see, like 4, 5 of us maybe.
Yeah.
And, we collectively come together and vote on stuff to make decisions, and just to try to keep it, as fair as possible. I know there was still some decisions we made this year that people didn't think were fair, or we were trying to favor some people and stuff like that, and that just simply wasn't the case. Sham took this club over from another group, and it didn't necessarily have the best image, so we've really just been trying to focus on changing that. We want to keep it around because we want to have that grassroots level, kayak club, because not everybody wants to go out and fish bass, so
right.
That's a whole nother level of competition and a whole nother level of numbers when you're talking about the amount of guys that are fishing it and stuff like that. And there's just not a lot of the grassroots clubs left. I don't know about where you guys are, but here I think there's just 1 or 2 of us left, and
yeah, I'd say SMKA is pretty much a grassroots. I know I said we had 53 paid members. I mean, 20, 30 guys getting together, guys and gals getting together for a tournament. It definitely the goal of the club to ever become like a bass master.
No, but it's something that somebody who doesn't fish tournaments, right, feels more comfortable coming to. You guys are probably a lot more friendly there than at a bass tournament, because there's always that ulterior motive of moving on, right? When you're fishing Bass Nation, or so it's that's that camaraderie feeling and level that you get with the grassroots clubs. That
100%. I mean, truthfully, what makes me or one of the things that I enjoy about fishing and fishing club is the camaraderie, and like having somebody say, hey man, that information you gave me, or this lore you told me about, you just gave me some tips. I really appreciate that. And it helped me catch a fish today. I mean, that's truly, brings me joy. So I don't care about winning $20,000. I want $20,000. Don't get me wrong, but I don't care about having that as far as a club that I'm involved with. I want it to be fun and a friendly, people can learn and enjoy their time on the water.
So how do you guys run it? Like, so you said you draw a ramp or pick a ramp, so y'all all go out of the same ramp?
Yeah. I mean, we make a schedule for our regular season. That's just our TOC that we do the random draw for.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, so yeah, no, we pick some of the ramps. So I already had the schedule made. I put the schedule out, I don't know, a month and a half or so ago. So we do usually one a month. We have a February, March. We do 2 in April. Then we do May. In July, we don't have like a regular tournament. We do our firecracker team tournament. So that has a random draw effect in it. The fact that there are 2 anglers literally drawn. So we draw for anglers and they become a team for this one event. And that is a super cool way, I feel like, for some anglers that don't know each other, to get to know each other, because, you pregame and your map study, you're doing all that kind of sharing information with each other. We also try to put more knowledgeable anglers with some less knowledgeable anglers as well for that team tournament. So I love the firecracker team tournament. If you could only fish one tournament with SMKA, that would be the one I would recommend.
Okay.
And then, we do we have some special events within the season. We have the King of the Swamp, which is going to be towards the end of the year, which has landings. So there's 2 swamp landings on the east side of the lake, swamp landings on the left side of the lake. And so whoever wins those with their 10 total fish, or how many ever fish, it's a 5 fish limit, they become the King of the Swamp. So we do special events like that too. We try to get with other kayaks in the area too. We try and do joint events and things. Again, it's about the camaraderie, having a good time. I mean, we've had some places that are like $400 for a check. Some lunch money. You can buy some bait. One of them nice glide baits that you don't want to pull money out of your own pocket for. So it's like, it gives you a little spending money. But our big bass, it's paid out 100%. It's $10 an angler. They're not expensive. I think it's $30 to sign up, plus 10 for the big bass. It'd be $40 to fish for big bass and for the tournament.
Okay. What do you think that the lower entry fee brings more people?
I think so. I think at this level, yeah. There are definitely some anglers that I've talked to. Man, I wish it was a higher entry fee so that way more money. And I'm like, well, I get it, but you got to consider everybody.
Yeah.
If you want an entry fee, we have Queen City, which is based out of, I guess, Charlotte area, not far, and they come down to Santee and fish. Their entry, I fished with them last year. I can't remember how much it was, but it was $100 and something.
Yeah. I know a few guys feel like the higher entry fee brings another level of talent to come and fish it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like another level of competition. That's why I was asking.
It definitely does. I got my tail in my home lake by some of them boys in Queen City, which, I didn't have the greatest day, but, I got some of those guys are good fishermen.
That's one of the things that we've been kind of going back and forth on with our board is a few of us want to lower the entry fee. And then
how much is y'all's entry fee now?
I think it's like $60.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus optional big fish. So it'd be $70 total. Right. There's a few of us that want to bring it down to that $30, $40 range.
I will say you would probably angler signed up. Significant amount right away? No. So to be realistic, you're not going to see like significant results. But I would say over time, if you averaged out how many anglers you get signed up, I bet you it'd be 5 more at every tournament.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been going right close to 2 hours, man. I know I was like, I don't know how this is going to go, so let's just go as long as we can. John, you got anything else for Chris?
No, it was good talking to you. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you too. Always nice to talk to a fellow
there you go.
Chris,
I just want to say thank you, man. You saved my tail today.
Hey, man, no, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come run my mouth about stuff I have no idea about.
Anytime, man. And some more of the tactical fishing guys, because a lot of people. So Chris and I are in we're in a secret club together, and so we fish like an internal monthly and stuff, and I'm trying to keep up with these guys over there at Santee, and I'm just doing everything I can,
Man, you beat us. You already beat us. You hang in there every month, dude. I am just telling Andrew the other day, for you to be like a spot lake, man, you're up there, dude. You're a solid fisherman, man.
I'm trying, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So, all right, chat. thank you guys for coming by. I can't see how many people are watching, so I appreciate it. I know it's not as fun without Danny and his personality and stuff, but we do what we can. So we'll see you guys next Monday. They got some other good guests coming out this week. I don't know their names or who they are, but they're boat guys. They've always got good guys on the Tuesday and Thursday show. So we'll see you guys next week. I got a good guest lined up, and I don't think this one's gonna ghost me at the end and make me find one of my friends. I think y'all are gonna like it. So y'all stay safe out there on the water. Stay warm. It's cold, and we'll see you.